Australian dollar is buying $1 and 1 cent, 74 euro cents and 63 pence sterling.
Now, new retail sales figures show shoppers have been keeping their cash in their wallet with a very small increase in sales in December that were well under expectations.
And Myer Chief Bernie Brooks says the government's flood levy will worsen the fortunes of battling retailers. Rod North is the Executive Director of Bourse Communications and he joins us now. Rod North, good morning.
Good morning.
Bernie Brooks has had a lot to say on a lot of things recently.
He certainly has. And
it's turning into a whinger.
Bit of a smokescreen with that Sassenbeed 65%
That's right.
announcement yesterday as well. I think
controlling stake in that company.
Take a bit of a focus off the fact that there's a bit of a profit downgrade happening there as well. Because I think originally there was a forecast for a 5 to 10% increase to take it through to the full year. But I think with those retail sales figures coming out yesterday, it pretty much sort of indicated for that December period and then for the quarter, which actually produced a negative figure of 0.3. I think there's obviously some concern for the quarter we're currently in, which is the March quarter and then the June quarter, as to what will happen as a result of a whole lot of sort of mitigating factors. The Reserve Bank putting rates up, banks putting rates up even further back in November. I think that sort of really hit the retail sector very hard. Plus we've had a season that's been pretty unusual too from a weather point of view. So there's a whole lot of things that are sort of mitigating to make the retailers find it pretty tough at the moment.
Well, not every retailer has suffered a lot. JB Hi-Fi, for instance, was another retailer doing well. So how much of this is potentially execution by Myer? Because the department store chain, as we all know, has struggled over the years.
Well, I think that's right. I think it sort of gets back to sort of looking at what the actual service delivery is to the customer. And I think with all the discussion before Christmas, thanks to some pretty high-profile people about the online position and the fact that, we had that $1,000 threshold for GST under consideration, it really did put a focus on, getting people to understand and learn more about online. And I think as a result of that, people realise, well, if we're going into a department store and we're perhaps not getting any service, we've got to find the item and then take it up to the cash register and then wait to pay for it. I mean, the service proposition's not there, and I think people are looking for that. So if you're not getting service, then why do you need to go into a retail store? Perhaps you just go online.
It's a really good point. And that, to me, and it's something that I actually wrote about last year, is an issue that the retailers in Australia are not confronting, and that is that online you get astonishing service. And even if they're putting it on and they're pretending that they care about me as a customer, I don't care. They're pretending terribly well. And there's real-time chat, there's live interaction with people no matter what website you're looking at, and you'll be hard-pressed to get someone in the major department stores who actually know the products that you're after.
That's exactly right. I mean, some retailers are obviously providing
slightly
better service.
The niche retailers know their product and they're pushing it.
So if we go back to a service proposition, I think that might drive more people back into department stores.
It might actually even employ a few people as well.
Absolutely.
Now, interestingly, the Reserve Bank in its latest quarterly bulletin on Friday essentially shot down a lot of those online arguments put up by the major retailers.
They did, because, I mean, look, the trend is obviously that online is increasing, but it's still very low at this stage, around the 1 to 2%. So I think the Reserve Bank in their monetary statement on last Friday pretty much indicated, well, it's not really showing any significant impact yet, but the trend is that it's growing, and I think more and more people will be jumping on board. And of course, with the Australian dollar where it is, the parity in the US and the cost of getting things sent to you, it makes it a pretty good value proposition, doesn't it?
The other issue is, when are Myer and DJs and like going to get online?
Well, that's right. Well,
that might actually just save the situation for them. Now, the reporting season for the half year is going to be in full swing from next week.
Correct. There's a few companies reporting at the moment, like JB Hi-Fi, which has done very well with their results. $80 million profit and up 8% for sales. So they were a bit of a standout yesterday.
Good to see you again, Rod. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.